So back to Justin Posey's book, Beyond the Map's Edge. I want to focus on the chapter called The Snout Scout, the story where he trains his dog, Tucker, to sniff out bronze. While I was finishing my last year of Colorado Mesa University, Justin was hunting for Forrest Finn's treasure. So it would have been about 2013. Anyway, Justin makes a point to say in this chapter that his hunt for Forrest Finn's treasure started in 2013 and that he began training Tucker to detect bronze in 2015. This chapter eventually begins in 2015, and he writes that he was in Colorado near the upper Rio Grande, staring at a silly rock. For context, the Rio Grande is a long river that begins in Colorado. It flows through Albuquerque, Las Cruces, and then into Old Mexico, and then eventually empties into the Gulf along the U.S.-Mexico border. I'm not so concerned about why Justin was hunting for Forrest Finn's treasure there, but what catches my attention is why he mentions it in connection to his own treasure hunt. He writes, and I quote, "There's something about the phrase Upper Rio Grande that makes you expect to stumble on a hidden treasure." Why does he say it this way? He doesn't say there's something about the Rio Grande that it makes you expect to stumble on treasure. He says it's something about the phrase Upper Rio Grande. Is he hinting that his treasure might lie in a tributary of a river? Fishermen do love tributaries. And then he says, "I found myself alongside a small footbridge staring at a silly rock." He says that. So from now on, for my own self personally, I'm going to be paying close attention to outstanding rocks near water crossings. In this chapter, we get our first glimpse of his hip issues as he begins to drive back home to Texas. And I can relate. I have a major tailbone problem that makes long road trips very brutal. And at this time, I would like to present Justin Posey with the Guinness Book of World Records for the most miles traveled from the southern United States to the northern United States. So a round of applause for Justin. Bravo. I mean, this man has traveled more miles south to north and then back again than possibly you could imagine. So what I love about this chapter, the Snout Scout, is the moment of disconnect between him and his dog Tucker at first, whom he obviously talks to like anyone else that would be riding shotgun. He writes, "How does one explain the finer points of treasure hunting to a being whose idea of priceless is a slightly stale ham sandwich?" Back home, riding back home during these long evenings, Justin stumbles across information about prospecting dogs that can sniff out metal underground, biometal detectors, if you will. He must have heard it on a podcast or something. And if Tucker could detect a crinkle of an American cheese wrapper from 3 rooms away, my dog also has this superpower, then could Tucker sniff out treasure? So this is a big aha moment for Justin. He starts training to sniff bronze since Forrest Finn's treasure is in a bronze container. What I believe he left unspoken possibly is that I think he probably trained Tucker to sniff gold too. Personally, I don't think Justin Posey ever gave up on the gold bars that Doc Noss hid in New Mexico. So I truly believe that, but I think he left that unsaid. So instead of taking the Rio Grande River route south towards Noss's old stopping grounds, Justin probably went the quickest way home, which takes him through Colorado Springs, Amarillo, Lubbock, and then home to his house in Texas. Okay, let's go on a brief tangent here. K-Pro, on the YouTube channel Cow Lasers and K-Pro, she is obsessed why Justin offered a $100 reward to anyone that could identify his truck parked near Colorado Springs. And I think she's onto something. Could this be a clue or have something to do with the direction the Rio Grande flows or the direction he drove from the Rio Grande to his house in Texas? I don't know, it's just an interesting thing. I mean, he's wanting to point this out for one reason or another. So I think K-Pro's onto something. Anyway, back to the Snout Scout. After Tucker masters sniffing out bronze, Justin writes that the treasure hunting becomes a more bonding experience between them. He says a particular alchemy that occurs when two species come together in the pursuit of a shared goal. Their soul connection, Justin and Tucker's soul connection, hit another level when Tucker was on his own treasure hunt, so to speak. Then he asks some mind-blowing questions. If dogs can learn to sniff bronze, what other cross-species feats of understanding might be possible? So for me, this is where the perception of Justin my perception of Justin changes from he's a goofball to a genius. He's a genius hiding under the facade of a goofball. So, in my Patreon page, I talk about crickets as natural timekeepers, cats detecting illness or death, bees predicting the weather, birds predicting earthquakes. So he's really talking about something here, something really interesting. He says we've been so preoccupied with searching the stars for intelligent life, we've underestimated the depth and complexity of the communication happening right under our noses. Why does he bring up the intricate dances of bees and subtle electrical signals of trees, subtle electrical signals of trees. And there's that word again, signal. Remember in the intro on his website, he writes, and I've talked about this in one of my TikTok book clubs. He says, but now you're picking up a signal you've never heard before. He says, but now you're picking up a signal you've never heard before. I really, really wonder what he means by that, and I'm just wondering if anyone else has any ideas. So if you have any, chime in, and thanks for listening to this video.